AITA for taking back my stepdaughter's gift over a comment she made about my ex-wife. Me am 43 and my ex-wife divorced 6 years ago. The reason was her refusing to move with me out of the country and leave her folks and the town she grew up in. She was a very generous, kind-hearted person and our separation never affected the mutual respect we had for each other. I work in construction. I left the country and met my now wife and stepdaughter who's 18. She lives with her mother. My relationship with her is based on respect, although we're not that close. Anyways, my ex-wife got sick in the last couple of years. I stayed in contact to check in on her since I live in another country. My wife is okay with that since she knows my ex and I knew each other since childhood. My stepdaughter, however, would make comments about her although she never met her. She'd ask me inappropriate questions, compare her mom to my ex, and ask if I ever thought about going back to the country and getting romantically involved with my ex again. I snapped and told her to stop, and that was it. I recently was able to get an apartment that I was planning on renting out, but my wife said it'd be great if we let my stepdaughter move into the apartment as her 18th birthday gift. Said she'd be very grateful for this support, and I agreed, thinking my stepdaughter is more deserving than others. She was happy when she knew. She saw it and was excited to move next month. Last week I received the worst news in my life. My ex-wife passed away. My stepdaughter came into the room and saw me sitting on the floor. She asked and I told her my ex-wife passed away. She looked at me, then smirked and said ding dong, which is finally dead. I was stunned. I yelled at her, telling her to get out. I told my wife what happened and that I'm taking back the keys to the apartment from my stepdaughter after the disrespect she showed to a woman she never even met. My wife argued that she was joking. I asked if this was good time for her jokes, seeing me like this and acting insensitive. She didn't respect the woman I loved and grew up with for years. My stepdaughter heard and was crying. My wife called me harsh and that she's just a kid, but I refuse to discuss it, and now they're claiming I'm being cruel and shouldn't go back after promising. NTA, your stepdaughter is cruel and disrespectful. She's 18 years old, a grown woman. If she's just a kid, then why is she moving out on her own? NTA, don't bite the hand that feeds. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Don't be a dick, pick one. Your stepdaughter knew that your ex-wife was important to you. Her comments weren't just disrespectful of your ex-wife, they showed no respect at all for you. Your wife's reaction to her daughter explains a lot about her daughter's behavior. Rather than scolding her daughter and demand that she apologize for her cruel comments, she got angry at you. Her cruel, entitled daughter is of her own making. NTA. You are NTA op. I'm very sorry for your loss and the grief and shock you are currently experiencing. It's so hard when someone so close to you is gone. It seems to me like you're being taken for a bit of a ride on this one. Your wife manages to swindle an apartment for her kid and then won't discipline her for being vile. Like, an apartment isn't a small gift. I got a nice necklace for my 18th. Out of curiosity, you do love your wife, don't you? And don't talk about her constantly in front of everyone. If so, this might be SD projecting her mother's insecurities because your wife is too afraid to say so. Just food for thought. TBH, I found the gifting of the apartment very strange. When people are able to get an apartment that they're planning on renting out, it's as an income property, not something they would divert to a relative other than extremely temporarily. That was quite the grab by his wife. AITA for getting upset with one of my coworkers who used my sonogram to fool her ex-boyfriend into thinking she was pregnant. Hello everyone, I am 27F. My husband and I found out 2 months ago we are expecting our first child. Last week, we officially announced it via text and phone calls to our friends and family. The next day at work, I found out that one of my co-workers had taken the photo of the sonogram I had sent them in the group text. Someone had asked to see it, and posted it on her social media to fool her ex-boyfriend, who she broke up with a few weeks ago, into thinking she was pregnant. I never wanted my sonogram on the internet. it. I don't have a Facebook or an Instagram or anything like that, and I feel extremely uncomfortable that it's out there without me being able to control the audience of who is looking at it. Also, this seems like an extremely cruel trick to play on someone, and she used my sonogram as a prop for this mean joke. When I expressed that I was upset to my coworker, she said I was being dramatic and I am just looking for something to be upset over. She said she covered up all identifying information, and that it was only up for a few hours, and she told her ex-boyfriend the truth after making him sweat for a bit. Are pregnancy hormones making me more upset about this than I should be? Absolutely NTA. What in the world was she thinking? This is a huge invasion of your privacy. I mean, I'm not even touching the can of worms of the prank she played on her BF. Because holy hell, I'm just focusing on your involvement here. Be completely honest, I'd go to HR about this. But you do you. It's absolutely unacceptable behavior. And, frankly, I think it's time to not be on a group chat with her. This is not someone you need having access to your life outside professional boundaries. She took an extremely today I fucked up wonderful moment of your life and twisted it for her own sick pleasure. Yes, a visit to HR is totally warranted, and I would definitely keep things strictly professional with her from now on. I'm seeing multiple reasons to never interact with her if you don't have to. NTA, you did not post your child's pic on the net. It was a horrible joke to play. All you have is her word she took it down. It might still be up. Even if she did take it down, it's possible someone else screenshot it along with her message to show someone else how horrible the coworker treated the ex. Personally, I would get someone to check her webpage to make sure the post was taken down. Contact the ex and explain what happened and that you would like the picture deleted if any of his friends screenshot the pic. Honestly, if she has done something like this in the past, stalking him, he might be trying to get evidence to get a restraining order against her. And there would be your baby's first picture, in a police report. Also, never share any pics of your child again with her. Show them to her, but not via the net. On another note, congrats. May your baby always sleep through the night and rarely cry. NTA, in addition to being a pretty sick joke, that's completely out of line to post someone else's sonogram. Feel bad for her boyfriend. What kind of relationship is built on the foundation of making your so sweat for a bit? Jesus Christ. NTA, the one faking a pregnancy called you dramatic! WIBTA, if I didn't plan my wedding menu around one guest. Like many people who are preparing for their wedding, my fiance and I are trying to nail down a menu with our caterer. Our wedding is coming this summer, and we are at the point where we need to make decisions about our menu. Our caterer allows us 2 entree choices for the wedding menu. We definitely want one meat option and one vegetarian option because we have many guests who are vegetarians. The problem, though, is one of our invited guests, Luke, will be bringing his girlfriend, Lisa, as his +1. I do not know Lisa very well. We've only met about 3 times. In our limited interaction, she has made it very clear that she's a gluten-free vegan. The hangouts we have attended are memorable because she always brings baked goods, serves them to everyone, and then as soon as we finish eating them she smugly goes, "Ha, that was gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan." See, it's not so hard. Back to wedding planning. The menu we were ready to submit to our caterers included a cherry duck breast with leek mashed potatoes for the meat option, and a mushroom cream sauce pasta entree as the vegetarian meal. Luke texted us asking if we know what we will be serving, so we told him what the projected options are. He told us Lisa will be mad because the vegetarian option still includes lactose, cream sauce, and gluten pasta. He gave her my phone number and she started unsolicited texting me alternatives that I should change my wedding menu to. I sympathize with Lisa. It is hard to have dietary restrictions, but changing an entire menu just for her doesn't work. The only vegetarian options we were given by the caterer all include pasta, and I am having a hard time finding anything that would fit for her special dietary restrictions but still serve the needs of other guests. WIBTA, if I didn't change my wedding menu just for her. NTA. I don't think you need to change your entire menu for her, but you can at least ask the caterer if they're able to accommodate one gluten-free vegan meal for a guest with dietary restrictions. They may say no, or may charge you a nominal fee to accommodate, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Dupe, it's fine to ask the caterer, or let her bring her own food, but that's the limit she can expect from you. I do not know Lisa very well, we've only met about 3 times. NTA. If it was your parents or someone you were closer to, then I'd say you should make more of an effort, but no, not for Lisa. If Lisa had asked you about ordering a separate meal for her, then it'd be a no, but she cannot expect the world to revolve around her. NTA. When you have that kind of dietary restriction, it's unreasonable to expect everyone to accommodate you. But talk to your caterer and see if they can manage one vegan and what the cost would be. If they can't or it's prohibitively expensive, Lisa needs to eat beforehand. Most caterers offer dietary meals. I worked in wedding catering for years, chef, and we always had 2 options for all courses and then provided dietary appropriate meals for all the people with allergies/dietary requirements of some sort. We had the option to charge and only did so when someone's dietary requirement was unnecessarily expensive. The one person that could only eat organic from this one particular farm and the plate cost somewhere around $100 in ingredients alone, or over 15% of the wedding was receiving a 3rd meal. In the absolute worst case scenario, we even let someone bring food and microwave it there because they were allergic to everything. Chatting to the caterer is the best option here. 99% of the time the chefs want happy full bellies leaving the wedding, and a couple of dietary meals won't make or break the night for us. NTA. I have severe food allergies that prevent me from ever eating at anyone's wedding. If the venue/caterer does not mind her bringing her own meal, tell her to do that. She is an adult who's fully capable of figuring out her own meal plan without expecting your wedding to center around her needs. Shut this down, and you need to shut friend down for giving out your contact information. Up is NTA, and also, WHO contacts the bride. I married last year and I was already so stressed without this nonsense. Facepalm.